It's time to take some scapes off of this thing, this garlic. And I'm not going to take all them little bitty ones because I don't want to. There's some coming on. These longest ones is the one I'm going to get today. And that way I won't have to have so many of them to deal with at one time. That way we can get us a few to eat along. Instead of trying to take every one of them, just get the biggest ones. And in a day or two, there'll be that many more. But these have to come off. If you want your garlic big and to do good, you want to get these scapes off. What's happened to that? You can break them off, but I kind of like to snip them. Seems like it's easier on your plant. Just like I say, you can snap them. I think maybe I'll just snip them or snap them off. Sometimes it might be easier to do that. You know, some of these, when they get ready to take them off, you've got to get them off. And they come in pretty well the same time. The little bitty ones, leave them, and that way you'll have another mess or two of them. Just take your thumb, what I do, if I'm snapping them, just run your thumb down as far as you can there and just twist it a little. Because right now, let me tell you, they're tender. You leave these on here 2 or 3 days and they'll start getting tough. Tough. And we don't want them to get tough, do we? You know, I throwed these down for years. Didn't want to fool with them. But they're well worth gathering. And they keep fairly well too. Longer than you think in the refrigerator. As far as I'm concerned, this is something that's a must if you're raising garlic. If you want some good garlic, big-headed garlic, you've got to get these off. Tell that plant, you got to let it know where it needs to be putting its energy. And that's not in the flowers. We're after the garlic heads. the garlic heads. When you snap these off, it changes the whole plant's intentions. I mean, it would still go ahead. It'll still go ahead and make garlic heads, except when you take these scapes off, that plant decides, hey, we ain't got no flower up there no more. Some of them, I've had a few, which is unlikely, but has happened, to try to put on another flower head, another scape. But anyway, it just tells that plant we need to throw all the energy now down below, and you'll have bigger heads of garlic, a lot bigger heads. And this is the elephant garlic. I'll just tell you the truth. My garlic, it looks in distress. Let's tell you it does. I don't know. Of course, you know, it could have been that last cold snap. That burnt some of the leaves up. You got to understand too that I did not fertilize this other than what I done last spring and summer when I was planting in here. And I'm sure there's some, or I was thinking there was some fertilizer would be left. It will it'll be what it is, you know. But I'm telling you right here is one of the best things you can do for garlic. You snap these heads, these scapes, and it'll divert the rest of the energy all the way till June, a couple months worth. Into that garlic head. Time's flying. I'll just tell you it is. It is flying. Now right here's where I finished out this row of music garlic with this elephant garlic. I run out right here. I ran out. This ryegrass is needing trimmed here on the edge. Ryegrass. I said the same thing last year when I started gathering these scapes, that we'll just leave a few that ain't big enough, but then when you start snapping, you think, well, if I don't get that today, it'll be too big tomorrow. Not too big, but a lot bigger. You want to get these off as fast as you can. Because if you stop and think how much energy, see, that one's even opening. You think how much energy that it took for this plant to produce these flower heads, these scapes. Of course, they'll keep growing. They'll come out and twist around. But I want that energy right now going down below. I want the energy in those, I want them down there in the heads. Today, not tomorrow, today. Now that's got the garlic. I'm talking about the elephant garlic. Ooh, that stuff's sticky. The music garlic. I'll tell you, I hope it comes on and does better than what it's looking like it's gonna do. I see another one I've left over there. I'll get it out of there too. That one tried to hide on me, didn't it? I better go up through here and check, because I said that I was gonna leave some. And I think I went back and got them. Yeah, they're got. We got them. Several scapes. Yeah, lots of scapes. Let me tell you, them's good in butter. Them is good sauteed in butter. Music garlic. I'll just tell you, I don't know how it's gonna do. I'll show you something else here. Show you something that's kind of puzzling me. Let me see if I can't lighten this thing up. Now, if you'll see right there, let me move it. I'll move this leaf growing down there. I cut this tree with a chainsaw all the way around, connected it all the way around. To kill this chestnut tree. And that's been done for a week almost. A week, yeah, it's been done a week. Now, you would think that those leaves would be, you'd think those leaves would be wilted, wouldn't you? Huh? Have to tilt back here. Them leaves. It's like I said, you'd think would be wilted. And they're not. And that's a puzzling to me. That is very puzzling, because I always thought when you rung a tree that it was destined to die. It wilted a little bit, but I mean, the tree's leaving here. It's gonna leave here. Lord have mercy. This tree, this is a pollinator. It's a chestnut pollinator. And it has a few chestnuts, but mostly just a mess. It don't produce good. It produces a lot of pollen, so I guess they call it a pollinator. Maybe it's a male tree. I have no idea. I'm just going with what they said about it. And all I know is it needs to go bye-bye. Now, I was going to cut the walnut trees, one here by the greenhouse, right again the greenhouse. I planted it there for a purpose, to cast a little shade certain times of the year. These other trees, especially this chestnut, when you reach down in that dirt right there and you get a big burr in your fingers, you'll understand why it's leaving. But let me move over here a little. Now this ryegrass, you'll see it laying in the row there. Yeah, you'll see it out through there. That I pulled out of those Egyptian walking onions and just throwed in the pathway. And you can see out there to where I got to. But it wreaks havoc with your onions. These are just there for bulbs anyway. But I need to pull the rest of that. But you can see my garlic out through there. It's yellowed up on the ends. It looks like it needs fertilized, but it ain't gonna get it. Not this year. There's the little 15 bulbs I dug up out there in the garden. Have no clue what they are. If you look at the leaves on this Pahosky garlic and then the music garlic, you know, I'm telling you, I really believe this is music garlic, this whole row. And I believe that row is the Pahosky. I won't know till I pull it. And then, of course, that far row over there is finished it out almost about 5 foot out there with music garlic, and then finished it off with elephant garlic. But it'll do what it's going to do, but I'm telling you, it looks fired up. Now, we did have a frost here a while back, not long back. It bit my potatoes back, but burned them up, but they've already snapped out of it in a week. You can see over there the rhubarb looks like it's taking hold. Got a row of rhubarb that I planted from seed last year. It's the second year on it. That's a little bed of the Egyptian walking onions that I had left over. I told you the story in another video about those. It's miraculous. But this year I decided to put the plastic down again for my peppers and tomatoes, because fighting weeds is, especially on that side over there, is out of the question when you don't have to. So I'll leave that plastic down I've left a patch over here one time for 3 or 4 years, and it done fine. On the other side of that, those cement blocks on the far side of that plastic, I planted yesterday evening a row of beets. Beets, and I'll finish the garden out with something on over. My bean trellis that I've got over there, I'm gonna roll it back, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to put some kind of plastic under it to keep the weeds down from the inside, and it becomes a pain. Anyway, we'll figure it out one day at a time, one day at a time. That's it, one day at a time. Persimmon tree, it's a standing tall. Oh, if you look, you'll see the apple tree in the middle of the garden that was about right in the center of the screen is laying over in that fence row. So with those plum trees, and the big plum tree that died out in the corner, it's gone. It's over in the fence row. I pushed stuff in that fence row for a purpose, to have the place for the birds and a few little wild critters that likes to hang around here. You have to give them a place to live too. All right. Garlic is scapes has been pruned, and we're in a waiting game. It'll sit there and hopefully everything will go good and it'll grow good this month and part of next month. Comes about the first week in June, you need to start focusing in this area. Start really watching your garlic, because you know that stuff, you never know. It seems to me like it's maturing pretty early this year, but after all, it is May, ain't it? Once you look at the dust and pollen, if you can see it sailing through the air over there. If you wonder why I'm talking like a horse, it's that old pollen and stuff off of grasses and trees. Yep. That's the way she is. Pollen, pollen, pollen. Okay. That's about it. Egyptian walking onions is putting some top sets on already. May have some of them to sell this year, don't know. Surely I'll have a few. All right, that'll be it today.